Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Bay Area Let's Talk. See that I got some KW stuff up there, and I actually meant to have powered by StreamYard. So, Bay Area Let's Talk. This show is all about the Bay Area. Most of it, anyway. Most of the time. When there's national stories, we're going to hit national stories. When there's local stories, we're going to hit local stories. When there's local businesses that would like to talk, we're going to talk with them. We're also going to speak with educators throughout the Bay Area on both sides. From Berkeley, from Stanford, to San Jose State, Santa Clara. We have quite a few colleges to talk with and quite a few professors and doctors to speak with here in the area. And we're going to be doing that here in the near future. Let's see. I like to start my show out by doing a couple of things, but the first thing that I do is give birthday shout outs. And the first one is going, first and only, is to Kimberly Hausman. Now, Kimberly is a young lady that I met through the Grow Live Academy. The Grow Live Academy. That's Ken Wall's Academy. And it teaches people how to live stream. So, Grow Live Academy, Ken Walls. And if you'd like more information about them, we're going to put up an email or a website here in just a moment. But Kimberly is one of the sweetest ladies that we've got online, and she is just a terrific young lady out of Missouri, and have enjoyed meeting her through this group and watching some of her lives. So, Kimberly, happy birthday to you. And if it is your birthday and we missed it, well, obviously we're not friends, or you didn't want to share your birthday on Facebook. So, if it is your birthday, happy birthday to you out there. Enjoy. Kimberly, you enjoy especially. Have an awesome, awesome day. Well, it's probably 5 o'clock in Missouri, so the day is pretty much done, but bring on the night. Bring on the night. Okay, let's take a quick look here. We'll pull that down. Wanted to show you one of the things that we do, and it's working with Grow Live Academy. We are using StreamYard.com as the platform to broadcast on, and then we're using Hippo Video to keep in contact with our clients. So there are 3 excellent companies to match up with and to link up with. And I cannot recommend any stronger. If you do want to learn how to do live streams, if you do want to understand on how to use this media, Grow Live Academy. That's the place to be. So, and I can give you those links. If you'd like those, just let me know. So again, this is Bay Area Let's Talk, and this is Charles Coachman. Well, I wanted to start out today was finishing off of what we were talking about yesterday, and that was the inauguration for the most part. There was a young lady that read one of her poems up there. Her name was Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman, a 22-year-old out of LA. Read a fantastic poem that she had written, and she has lit the world on fire. Everyone is thrilled, and everyone is excited for her. So congratulations, young lady. She was, born and raised in LA, so a California native. So congratulations, Amanda. That is a huge, huge deal that you just went through. Because normally it's a much older poet that gets up there and reads if there's going to be a poet reading. So congratulations to you. Terrific job. And you have a lot to be grateful for. Let's check in on comments real quick. Mr. Mark Rodriguez, wonderful man out of the Bronx. He's an awesome guy. Awesome guy. Hey, man, I am doing fine. Just had a fun week struggling with my back, but everything is coming up roses. Maybe. And I do have some affiliate links for you, Mark, if you need those. Absolutely. We'll take care of you. Ken said to make sure I took care of you. So one of the things that's happened with locally, right after the inauguration hit, we had some groups that are lining up to talk about legalization for all. And that is basically a group of undocumented citizens. I would say illegal immigrants at this point, but to be politically correct, undocumented citizens. They have started a group called Legalization for All and mobilized a caravan saying Caravan for Justice. Now it looks like they are going to get some of their wishes, and that would be being able to get legalization, to have a pathway towards legalization. Now, what that entails, we're not sure yet, because we have differing numbers on the amount of undocumented aliens in the U.S. We've been talking about 11 million people for over a decade, and the reality is that there's been numbers shot out there as much as 30 million people, maybe a little more than 30 million illegal aliens or undocumented citizens. And we want to make sure that we cover that right, and we just want to give them an opportunity to hey, Mark, you wise guy, you're gonna have me cracking up. We want to make sure that they're able to voice their opinions and give them a voice. I mean, if there is something that people want to say, you know, they were brought over. Most of these children were brought over by their parents illegally, and they've been here for most of their lives. Some of them were brought over as children, and now they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and some as old as 40 years old, maybe a little older. So we've got to start responding to this. We are not going to be able to send 11 to 30 million people back to their homelands. Most of them, the U.S. is the only homeland they've known. So we've got to figure out something to do with this. And we have to get it done now. This has been kicked on down the road for many, many years because our Do Nothing Congress and our Do Nothing Senate has promised to do things for years and years and years, and they just will not do it. So we've got to make sure that this group does it. This group has to have some legal rights, and we've got to figure out what they are. We've got to figure out what it is that we can do that makes sense for everyone. Makes sense for everyone. What do we do? How do we handle that? So, Joe Biden has said there's going to be an 8-year citizen path for immigrants. What does that 8 years look like? What does it entail? What are these people going to have to do? So we've got to get this straightened out. For the love of all men, let's get this figured out. But we have to be smart about this, and we just can't let people flow into our country. We've got to keep up strong resistance at our borders. We can't just let more and more people flow in, because that hurts everyone. Everyone. And we've got to understand that. So President Biden Do what you said. Get these people on a path to citizenship. Do whatever it takes, but keep our borders closed. Keep the borders closed. If somebody has a real problem, then we have to get that settled, and we have to get it settled quickly. If it's a matter of bringing in more judges to get these hearings done when people hit the border, let's do that, whatever it takes. But do not let caravans flow through our borders. On another end, COVID. We have had over 400 deaths. We're doing over 400 to 500 deaths a day in California due to COVID. We are just learning today that some of the Moderna product that was said to have been bad, well, there was actually only a couple people that got sick from it. And so they have decided that the Moderna product is going to be released and will be put into use once again. And that's a good thing, because that'll help at least 8,000 people in San Francisco, because San Francisco was getting ready to run out. So we are going to have to get this done, get this program set up, and start taking care of our elder citizens. We need to have everyone 70 and up taken care of fairly quickly. I guess the number is 65 and up, but let's get those 70-year-olds. Let's make sure that all of our doctors and frontline people are taken care of, but then let's hit those rest home sites, the retirement homes. Let's take care of everyone that's 70 and older and make sure they're able to get those shots. And let's protect our citizens. Sutter Health was going to have a website up and running where you can get your appointments and see exactly what's happening. Went down the first day. Health websites seem to do that. This is a little one that's got me a little puzzled, but we knew it was going to happen. U.S. has joined the global vaccination program and will re-enter and retain its membership in the World Health Organization. The same World Health Organization that fed us untruths from the Chinese government when the pandemic was first beginning. Same health organization that takes and takes and takes from the U.S. and puts us at the back of the line. We have to get things done right. Joining of the World Health Organization, I don't think should have been a top priority, but that's what they've done. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. Again, like I said, California health officials have given the okay to resume with Moderna vaccine distribution. So that's going to give folks a hand there. San Francisco will not be running out of vaccines, says Mayor London Breed, because they were almost done. Now they've got at least 8,000 more people that they can take care of. COVID-19 vaccines are now being offered by the Contra Costa Health Services, and they're going to take care of any resident 65 and over. And COVID-19 vaccine rollout in Santa Clara will also have a new online tool. In Santa Clara County, we've only vaccinated 57,000 people. So that is a little alarming. We have got a couple million people here, and 57,000 is just a tiny, tiny portion. Well, some good news. Last night, the Sharks defeated the St. Louis Blues 2-1. One of our favorite players, Mr. Hurdle, got a shootout goal, and the Sharks won 2-1 over the Blues. Warriors over the Spurs, 121-99. Rookie James Wiseman scored 20 points. Young guy only played 3 games in college. 3 games in college. 3 games in college. Now, going back, I want to do a little more Bay Area news and Valley news. This is about Scott Peterson. Most of us remember the Scott Peterson story and the Laci Peterson story, the Laci Peterson murder and her death, along with their unborn son, Connor. And there is a possibility that he is going to get a new trial, at least a new trial for what he will be sentenced to, because he had been on the he had gotten the death sentence, but that has been removed. The judge removed it, struck it down last year. So he is getting another chance at life. Another chance to live a good, long life. Laci didn't have that opportunity. His son Connor didn't have that opportunity. We got to figure that out. What do we want to do? This man took his wife's life and his son's. We've got to figure out how we are going to handle things like that. In a premeditated murder, everything was found on his computer. We have to do something that's right. We've got to make sure that if we are going to hold people accountable for their misdeeds, that we do that. All right, we are coming close to the end here. This is just going to be a short program today, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about was this day in rock. This day in rock, gruff voice DJ Wolfman Jack is born in Brooklyn as Bob Smith. Bob Smith, born in Brooklyn on this date in 1938. Clap for the Wolfman. You know, the first time I heard of the Wolfman was in American Graffiti. Otherwise, I don't believe I'd heard about him before. Maybe something, but he hit it big with a lot of young people then. So, passed away many years ago. But Wolfman, God bless you. What joy you brought to a lot of people. On this date in 1942, singer Mac Davis, famous for Baby, Don't Get Hooked on Me. Born on this date in 1942, unfortunately passed away last year. So, Mac Davis, God bless you. Thank you for the great music. And then this singer, born in 1942, Edwin Starr, part of War, and had the songs, well, War, what is good for? And so they said, as long as there are people who go, huh, what is it good for? Edwin Starr will always be remembered. Born on this date in 1958. One of my favorite singers. I fell in love with this lady. She's awesome. Anita Baker, U.S. soul singer. 1986, she had some big hits. Sweet Love. And then 1998, Giving You the Best That I Got. That lady is dynamite. Dynamite. And then the Byrds, on this date in 1965, recorded Mr. Tambourine Man. And then the headline is, well, not really, because only one of the Byrds played on the record. Only one of the Byrds, Jim McGuinn. The rest were session artists that played on there. And I am going to guess that it was probably the Wrecking Crew that played for them, because the Wrecking Crew did a lot of songs for an awful lot of artists, including the Beach Boys, on some of their biggest hits. Brian Wilson would go down, get the music all ready, have these guys playing, and then invite the rest of the band in to sing. So, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. 1966, George Harrison marries Pattie Boyd. Pattie Boyd. He wrote the song Something About Her. And then she had a couple other songs written about her. One of them was Layla. Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. Because George and Eric were best friends, and Eric took George's wife. And George was a pretty good spirit about it. A good man. He said, if she was going to go to somebody, I'm glad it's somebody that I knew. I know he'll do well with her. I don't understand that, but they split up too after a few years. But they enjoyed each other's company. I got to meet her, I think 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, got to meet her and artists. And I just enjoyed being able to listen to them about their lives and talking about all that they had been through, but sharing their photography, which was what the show was all about. But Pattie Boyd, you've had the life. You had the big life. This date in 1972, American Pie, Don McLean, was the #1 album in the USA and remained there. Remained there for several weeks. The song was 8 minutes and 27 seconds. People said, you're not going to be able to play that on AM. And they said, this is the way we want it going out. And that's the way it went out. Long, long time ago. I can still remember. 1978, the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever started a 24-week run as the #1 album on the US charts, headed up by the Bee Gees. 1984, soul star Jackie Wilson dies of a heart attack. He was only 49 years old. 1987, on the same date, 3 years later, Jackie Wilson is part of the group that's installed into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with Roy Orbison, Smokey Robinson, and Aretha Franklin. Jackie Wilson, his biggest hit, and I still remember it, is Lonely Teardrops. Lonely Teardrops. So, this is the end of our show. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to leave us a comment, we'd sure appreciate that. If you would like to share it out, we would love that too. Now, this show in the future is going to be doing interviews. We want to talk with local businesses to see how they're doing through this pandemic. What can we do to help drive some business to them? Every little bit helps, and we want to try and be able to do something. So this show is going to be about giving back. I like to go ahead and talk about what's happening in the news, take some time to go over things, but then again, I also love my music. So anybody that ever wants to talk about music, we'd be glad to do that. Can't play the music on this show because they'll shut us down, but other than that, we love it. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. We will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock. This is Bay Area Let's Talk, and I'm Charles Coachman. Have a great afternoon and terrific evening. Bye-bye.